It is our honor, live from Paris Island, to say, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now for the first time ever, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah!
Mr. President.
Hello, Pat. Hi, Pat.
So most people would think with our show that this would be an impressionist of the president because no president would actually join us. But on this Veterans Day, we want to say, Mr. President, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. And I'm only joining you because I hear you say such nice things about me from your very large audience. I've always heard you've said such nice things. So when people say nice about me, I join. When they don't say nice about me, I take a pass.
Okay, that's not a bad way to look at things. You should see, I don't know how much you know about me. I feel very similar.
So this happened.
We have $17 trillion plus being invested in our country. That's many times more than any country has ever had. We don't want to be wasting time. So they tried to basically renegotiate the great, big, beautiful deal. They weren't able to get it. And now they said, let's close up our country and we'll see if we can get it. But again, getting it for people that came into our country illegally from prisons, from gangs, from mental institutions, from, places that you don't want, and giving them $1.5 trillion in medical costs and things. You just can't do this. You can't do it. And it ruins it for everybody else. So they were not successful in renegotiation, and it looks like it's going to be opened up. But you're right. It's the House has to vote, and then, of course, I have to sign it.
Okay, so once again, I don't know your guys' world. I assume everything you just said there will have some people very pissed about it, and then obviously the rest of the world, United States of America, will be very excited that the government is back open.
Where Pat McAfee manufactured consent.
They're going to have to do something. Colleges can't afford it. And what they're doing, I don't want to use any particular sport because it's degrading, but they are really terminating a lot of sports, sports of, you would call them lesser sports, but big sports, good sports, and sports where they have tremendous interest. They're getting rid of them. And frankly, the college football, it's very big, but as big as it is, if they don't do, some very powerful caps, these colleges are all going to go out of business, no matter how rich they are.
I'm fascinated to see what 10 years from now looks like.
By allowing someone.
Is there one sporting event that either you haven't been to yet that you'd like to go to, or is there one where you are thinking like, man, if I could have the opportunity to experience that for the first time again, I would love to do that?
Well, you're going to see, I was able to bring in my first term, sign up the World Cup. So you're going to have the World Cup. And you're going to have the Olympics. I never did the Olympic thing, so we're going to have both the Olympics. I signed both of them up. I never thought I'd go to see him as president, but then we had an election that there was a little hanky-panky going on, as you say. And now all of a sudden I'm the president during those two. And then, of course, we have the 250th year, which, the anniversary thing, which is big. I do have to say, look, I like them all. I love sports, but I do have to say, and I'll probably get myself in a little trouble with this, I hate the kickoff.
Oh, come on, Mr. President.
That's weird.
I think it's so terrible. I think it's so demeaning, and I think it hurts the game. It hurts the pageantry. I've told that to Roger Goodell, and I don't think it's any safer. I mean, you still have guys crashing into each other, and it's so, it's the opposite of what the game. The ball is in the air and nobody's moving. It's supposed to be when the ball is in the air, when the ball is played, you're supposed to be moving.
It's a live ball, Mr. President.
You walk in, and the pageantry of the game is so badly hurt. And I don't think NFL, they do what they want to do, but I don't think they'll change. I hope college football doesn't change because, the power of the kickoff was so beautiful. And now I don't want to say what it reminds me of because I'll get myself into big trouble. But it is not football. And I have no idea what you guys may disagree with me. I don't think it's going to help.
No, Mr. President, this is how we feel. I feel as if they were just going to get rid of the kickoff and special teams as a whole. As a former punter and kickoff guy, anything to save the play, I'm on board with because they were on their way to kind of move it out. So this version of the kickoff kind of became like the last hope, basically, for the kickoff. But what you said about the original kickoff, I think every football person is like, yeah, let's go back to that, especially with onside kick capabilities and surprise onside kick capabilities.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Exactly.
And now it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so It's so unromantic, and it just is demeaning to football. I don't think they have a right to do that to the game. Right. You know, the game is so important. I don't think the people that approve that, I don't think anybody has the right to do that.
To lie through their teeth.
Ever thought about that as a concept of conversation?
Well, I did it the other night with two very nice people, as you know, with the Fox broadcast. And it was a little bit of a blowout game, in all fairness, with the Commanders as opposed to the Redskins. What happened to the Redskins, by the way? But it was the game wasn't the greatest game, but those two guys were really, we had a good talk. And I talked about sports. To me, it's like a microcosm of life. It really is. It's you see the winning and the losing and the comebacks and the routes.
And use slurs along the way. So look, Pat saw the backlash and responded like this.
And we also had the commander-in-chief on the show live. I believe it's the second time that a sitting president has been live on an ESPN show. The last one was from a Democratic political party. This one obviously representing, I guess, the Republican political party. But in my eyes, he's the leader of the military, and we were celebrating the hell at a Veterans Day. Now, there are people who are certainly not the most happy that happened, but what I would like to say, every veteran military person I talked to is very grateful and thankful that we spotlighted the heroes of America who walk amongst us, who are willing to sign a line and go for the United States of America as opposed to anything else. So if you're against what happened yesterday, I'd like to say you hate the troops. And you should go ahead and swallow that, and you can take that to where you want to go.
I genuinely believe this. If you say something like this, either you are stupid or you think your audience is stupid, or a combination of both, quite honestly. Awful Announcing took him to task. In many ways, Trump epitomizes the reasoning behind the stick to sports mantra. He is intensely disliked, polarizing, and divisive. The whole point of stick to sports, we've been told, is to keep people like that out of our sports programming because that exists to be an escape from politics and rhetoric. One person who has long trumpeted that call is none other than Pat McAfee, the bombastic Pat McAfee Show, and a host with College Game Day, has long lived by the mantra that sports unite us and exist to allow everyone to put their squabbles aside and come together. He's also made it quite clear that his desire is always to keep politics out of what he does every single day on that show. Many reminded him of this. John Lee wrote, "If I could distill everything wrong with the United States of America right now, I would describe it as Pat McAfee Show B-roll image of Trump in front of Qatari military base." Strez also chimed in, "For a guy who has no interest in politics on his ESPN show, Pat McAfee should have let Trump ramble off unlimited political lies to his massive live audience today with a screenshot of an article showing McAfee has zero interest in talking politics." McAfee wants to do whatever he wants and do it however he wants, and he doesn't want to have to answer for any of it, type Nancy Armour for USA Today. He might not be political in the traditional sense of the word, but he is absolutely feeding the toxic mindset that has made our society meaner and harsher. McAfee's entire brand, she continues, is designed to appeal to the manosphere, the young white men who have embraced toxic masculinity as a means of belonging. Cruelty is mistaken for strength. Willful ignorance is considered a sign of enlightenment, and anything goes so long as the hilarity is at someone else's expense. That McAfee is just talking about sports doesn't make the shtick any less problematic. She also importantly notes the shutdown win the president bragged about there. It means an end to the subsidies that have allowed millions of Americans to afford health insurance, though, of course, we would argue it's not affordable and it's a terrible system. That big, beautiful bill he touted, it includes cuts to Medicaid and food assistance that many vets and their families rely on to this day. And because Pat McAfee is so famously apolitical, he yucked along with it and gushed about what a great guy Trump is, without any checking on the actual facts. Like that, rather than the hiring Trump mentioned, the VA is on track to shed about 30,000 jobs this year, which could make it harder for vets to get care. So here is what I would say. This cannot be the person who is saying that they want to separate sports and politics, yet you host the President of the United States and allow him, a draft dodger, A man who, according to multiple outlets, did not want to go to a memorial for veterans because it would mess up his hair because of the rain. According to multiple outlets, on another occasion, he didn't want to go to the cemeteries for veterans because he views them as suckers and losers. He said of John McCain, "I like my soldiers who aren't captured." According to some vets, he did a sign of the ultimate disrespect when he accepted a Purple Heart from a veteran. That's the guy who they celebrate on Veterans Day? He just wants to take advantage of these people to help out the war machine that continues to profit off of people like him and off of bodies like the ones who gave that hoorah. What also gets me is that we have a pretty good idea on why they will not release the Epstein files. Yet, Pat McAfee, a man who calls himself a girl dad, yet amplified a false story about a college student, a woman. I'm not going to even go, we've covered it. Ruined her life. He helped to contribute to ruining her life. That's the guy who calls himself a great girl dad. Yet you're having someone on who has, according to many reports, essayed over 20 women. The same guy who was a close confidant of a serial pedophile. A man who, it seems, very blunt in his approach to handling Ghislaine Maxwell, that she is now in a minimum security prison. Another pedophile. But yeah, you're a great girl dad, Pat. Let's amplify this guy. Let's cater to him. What drives me insane about folks like this is they talk out of both sides of their mouth. And McAfee's like, hey, on this program, we're just some of the bros. We're a program full of bros. No, you're not. That's the image that you want to give off. But I do think that words matter. And I think accountability matters. And Pat's just running from it. You know why? Because he doesn't have to deal with anything. The repercussions for his actions are minimal. He might lose some people after this, but a large majority will still think, oh, well, had to have him on Veterans Day. Newsflash, you didn't. You didn't have to have an alleged pedophile on, but you did. You decided to. So you know what, Pat? Good for you, man. I'm happy you got the bag. I'm happy you're broing out with the other boys. I will say that, at least for me and for other people, I would hope that your words matter and that accountability should still matter. As little as you care about those things, I don't know. I think that some should stand tall. And there's no moral superiority that I am trying to inflict. I want to be very clear in case this reaches MAGA. I just think if he says that I don't want politics in sports and I want my program to be as far away from including politics in sports, yet you host Aaron Rodgers for Conspiracy Theory Hour, you host Dana White who glazes Donald Trump at every turn, you host Donald Trump, yet you call yourself a girl dad, but also you don't want politics in sports, and you host Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, and all of these dudes lie through their teeth, and you allow it and enable it? How can you not see it? If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.